Hey, Mike Phillips down here, 3D Garage in sunny Stuart, Florida. And I'm going to go over some tips and techniques for safely washing and protecting a canvas cloth top. Now, the first thing I want to share is you should never use a pressure washer to clean or rinse a canvas top. If you hold the nozzle too closely to this fabric material, it'll actually end up leaving an imprint or a mark where you moved the wand. So just avoid pressure washers. You can use it on the rest of the car, just not the canvas convertible top. Now, the next thing is if the top's not too dirty, you can use a normal car wash soap. So for example, I'm using the 3D pink car wash soap. I have some already mixed up over here. And then the other important thing is to use a soft bristle brush. Now, if the top is really dirty, like perhaps you bought the car used and the previous owner neglected it, there are special upholstery and fabric cleaners you can use. But in most cases, any soap that's good enough to clean the outside of the body is good enough to clean the canvas top. Now, when it comes to your brush selection, you want to choose a brush that has flexible, soft bristles. You don't want to use a brush that has very stiff bristles with sharp, pokey tips on it, because what will happen is over time it'll tear up the fabric and give it a fuzzy look, and then it's kind of game over at that point. But worse than that is it opens the top up and it makes it more absorbent to water, which just degrades the top over time anyway. The goal of cleaning and then protecting the top is to not only restore a crisp, rich color to it, but to re-waterproof it. Now, most canvas tops come from the factory waterproof. So if you're out in inclement weather, it's raining, water will bead up instead of soaking in, where it can cause mold or mildew over time. So the waterproofing that the top comes with, it's not going to last forever. You know, nothing lasts forever, not even you or I. So that's why it's a good idea to at least once a year correctly and carefully clean the top and then apply a protectant to restore waterproofing, stain proofing, and of course a nice rich color to it. So this brush here has two 2-inch long bristles, is very flexible, and it's not sharp and pokey. So to clean this top, I would just gather some car wash soap and then gently just run the brush over the top. Now, if you look closely at a canvas top, you'll see it has a weave, like most fabrics. And what you're trying to do is just loosen up any dirt that's penetrated down into the weave to loosen it so you can rinse it off. Okay, so just like that, just nice and careful. And of course, do the other side and then rinse. Now, when you go to rinse, here's another tip. Don't use the jet setting, okay? Instead, switch over to the shower setting. So it's a nice, gentle flow of water that'll thoroughly rinse all the dirt out of the weave you've just agitated with the brush, but it won't tear up the top. And then, of course, flush it with water until you see all signs of soap have been rinsed off. Okay, then after that, what you want to do is go ahead and dry this using your favorite drying towel and use the blotting method. Just place the drying towel on there. Don't push it around, just place it on, absorb it out. Here, I'll show you how. Okay, so this is a clean waffle weave drying towel. And the way I would use this is just fold it in half, then lay it onto the top, and then just using pressure from your hands, whoops, just press against the top. And what's going to happen is through capillary action, the water will transfer out of the cloth material and into your drying towel. And the whole goal here is everything you do to the top, you never want to be aggressive with it. Again, to keep it looking pristine and original, factory new. There you go, look at that. I don't know if the camera can see this, but this area here is totally different in appearance than where I haven't dried, and most of the water has come out into the towel. But anyway, that's called the blotting technique. And with just a couple of quality microfiber towels, get something that's non-linting. You can work around the car and just blot the water out. Now, I'm going to go ahead and finish the detail on this car, and over the course of the time it takes to do the paint correction and apply the graphene coating, This top is going to air dry, and then I'm going to come back and show you some tips and techniques to use the high-tech fabric protectant to reseal, waterproof, and stain-proof this fabric top. Stay tuned. Okay, so back to the canvas cloth top. The car was washed. It's been sitting in this dust-free environment for 2 days, so it's completely dry now. And I just want to explain what I have going on here. So after I washed it, I covered the top to protect it from any splatter as I did the paint correction to the car. And now this car's been ceramic coated. So what you see here is I've taped this off with a drop cloth, and then I just cut a hole out where the canvas portion is, and then I put tape line up to the canvas. So as I'm spraying, I don't have to worry about getting any of the overspray onto the glass, the paint, the plastic on the outside of the car body. If you do, you can wipe it off. But at this point, since everything is pristine, I'd rather go ahead and tape things off and then put the fabric protectant on and not worry about having to come back and wipe the whole car down again. So that's the way I'm doing this. But you could do it either way. Another way you could do this would be to wash the car, wash the top, let the top completely dry, apply the fabric protectant, and then buff out the car. So after you let the fabric protectant dry, go ahead and cover it up, and then any overspray you got on the car or the glass as you're doing the paint correction, you would wipe or buff that off. So there's kind of different ways to skin this cat. This is the most careful way though. You could also just lay some towels down around it instead of using a drop cloth, just anything to capture the overspray. So this is the high-tech fabric protector, and it's going to create a stain-proof, waterproof finish on this canvas, but it's also going to restore a darker, crisper look. And it'll do this to all colors. It's just you're not going to see it on a white or tan or any light color, but you will notice it on the darker colors like this. And you know, if it's happening to a darker color like this black top, it's happening to the other colors. You're just not going to see it as much. Now, you want to do this in a well-ventilated area. And then the tips I have for you to show you how to apply this is just common sense. As I'm spraying this, instead of holding the can, say in the middle of the top, and spraying out over the windshield, which would put a lot of overspray over the car, I would spray this way. So most of the oversprays, when I'm sealing this portion right here, is actually going to land over here. Some will go to the back of the car. But the idea is to always be spraying into the top, not away from the top. Okay, shake the product well, and then if you're an experienced rattle can paint guy, it's just like using a spray can of paint. Just start painting this product on. And what I teach people to do is to lay down a heavy or wet coat, and then you see I've got these nitrile gloves on. I'm going to come back and work it or massage the product into the weave of the cloth. So instead of letting it just sit there on the top and drying, which works, I don't want my fabric protectant sitting on the top. I want it into the top. So that's why I'm going to massage this in with my gloves. And this is a fairly small canvas top, obviously. I didn't choose to do this car because it has a small top, but it does lend itself well to a video, and this is actually an easier top. A lot of convertible tops would have down by the B-pillars or the cell panels, a lot more material you'd have to cover. So just always remember to spray in instead of, see, watch this, spray out and have all that go out over the car. So come over here and spray in. Now, as I'm looking at this, I'm seeing a fairly wet application. It looks like morning dew on the top. So after you've laid down what you would consider as an ample amount of product, set the can aside and then just start to massage this in. And then after that, you need to let it fully dry. And I would recommend at least 24 hours in a dust-free environment. Your garage would be good. And just let this fully dry. I know a lot of people are tempted to pull it out in the sun, and you can. And it would probably dry really fast. It's supposed to probably be in the 80s here in South Florida. There we go. That's how I would do that. And then repeat the process to the other side. You can do that. You can put it outside. The thing is, you know, you just want to try to keep it in a clean environment, a dust-free environment as this product is curing to the fabric. Anyway, that's how you use the high-tech fabric protector. Creates a stain-proof finish. Also restores the water repellency, which is something you need to do on about a yearly basis if the car in question is a daily driver. Man, that looks good. That looks like a brand new top. For more information, go to 3dproducts.com.